Patrick Foster rested his foot on a steamer trunk which was sitting ready to be loaded onto a lighter, and stared at the same boring view he'd seen every damn day since he'd arrived in Wellington. Queen's Wharf, bustling with activity, steam launches and lighters, alternately spewing forth and swallowing passengers and baggage, dock workers making sure the two arrived or departed together. "What a feckin' waste of time this is! I'm never going to catch any of them, not a bloody chance," he said to his companion, Constable Jerry Fawkes, recently assigned to him as an assistant watcher by the Wellington Constabulary. For weeks they'd been strolling around the docks together, keeping their eyes open for rebel Irishmen, chatting with the customs officers and wharfies, getting to know everybody, even the loafers and the layabouts. But no sign of any members of the Brotherhood trying to flee New Zealand. They were long gone. The Brotherhood, including his own brother and cousin, had taken themselves to Australia or America to cause fresh havoc in another country. "They're paying you well, though, aren't they? I wouldn't mind a sergeant's pay," said Constable Foster, who was about 5 minutes younger than Foster, and jealous that Foster was doing so much better than him. "My wife likes the pay," he said. He saw Fox's cheeks redden as he avoided Foster's eyes. Foster had seen that look before when he mentioned Arawa. The hell with them. So Arawa had tattoos on her chin, and she wore men's trousers, and sometimes she swore too much. He thought she was beautiful. She was his best mate, and the person he loved most in the entire world. They'd rented a 3-roomed cottage on a hill above Oriental Bay, a 15-minute ride from the docks, and Arawa spent her time gardening and weaving flax baskets to sell at Whittaker Brothers on Lambton Quay. When she had baskets to drop off like she did today, she brought him a picnic lunch, and they ate it together. He hoped she was happy. He was. He'd never been so happy in his whole bloody life. One more lap of Queen's Wharf and he'd head to their meeting place, where they could have a bit of a cuddle while they ate lunch. He checked the wharf, trying to decide where he should go now, wishing it was already lunchtime. Someone bellowed something, and the next thing he knew he was airborne as Constable Foster took both of them down on the rough surface of the wharf. "What the hell, Foster?" A large steamer trunk smashed to the ground from a steam crane bobbing beside the dock, hitting the exact spot where they'd been standing, sending splinters flying in all directions. Constable Foster picked himself up and dusted off his trousers. "Are you all right, Sergeant Foster? I saw the load wobbling and could see it was going to fall on us." Foster's left hand had done a slide across the planks of the wharf, but he was mostly all right. Not the first time he'd been tackled. He picked a couple of slivers from his palm and glanced up at the crane, just in time to see a man vault from the operator's cabin down onto the dock and sprint towards Lambton Quay, one hand clutching his cap, coattails flapping behind him. "You want me to go after him?" asked Constable Foster, who claimed his mates had nicknamed him Flying Fox because of his speed on the rugby field. Foster thought about that. What would Fox do if he caught the bloke? Shake the truth out of him like a dog with a rabbit? "Nah, the shipping agents will know who was working today. I'll track him down and have a little chat with him. Probably a stupid mistake. I wonder what ship she was headed out to. They'll need to know it's not common." Fox pointed at the lighter. "Says SS Go-Ahead, out of Napier, right there on the side. You're from Napier, aren't you? Do you know the Go-Ahead?" Foster grinned to himself. He'd recently spent some time in the coal bunker of the Go-Ahead before leaping overboard and floating ashore on a lifebelt, and he'd been dumped there by the same Irishman he was supposed to be watching for now. "I know the ship. Been on it as it happens. Listen, Fox, you saved my life. I think I owe you a beer." Fox patted his belly, grinning. "Almost lunchtime. I could do with a pie as well if you can afford that on your wages. How about we go to the pier?" Foster nodded. He usually met Arawa in the lane behind the pier hotel where he stabled his horse. She'd be there soon, and he could ask the kitchen boy to keep an eye out for her while he and Fox quaffed a quick pint. Best of both worlds.